Silay is going to teach us all how to do final cuts so that we can all throw away our sandpaper below 320 grit.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me here tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I call technical tool application. There's certain things you can do, right, to enhance the joy in your wood turning. And what I'm all about is wood slicing, the people that know me. And for the new folks, it's different than scraping. You'll see when we get into it. Before I came, and I'm going to go through the 5 basic shapes, the 3 basic tools. We'll go through some specialty tools. We'll do spindle work. We'll do side grain bowl work, and we'll do end grain bowl work. And the end grain bowl work and the side grain bowl work also applies to end grain and side grain hollow forms. So one of the things that I find that people don't do when I go to these demos is sometimes chips and garbage get down in your Morse tapers. So before I start, I always like, especially if you're drilling, I like to take this. So I just take this and do this, put a little piece of sandpaper on it, and you can see I've already got some stuff out of there. Anyway, I'll just pass that around. You can go home and make one of these. Just make a little dowel. Take your Morse taper that you have right here, put a piece of wood on either side of it, and glue those 2 pieces of wood to a little block underneath, and you'll have the exact shape of your Morse taper when you do this. But keep these clean, because if you're going to drill something out and you've got a little piece of stuff in here and you put this Morse taper in here, it cants that drill chuck just a little bit, and when you go down any length, it'll set up a little wobble in there, and it won't be true coming out this side. So these Morse tapers have to be, totally in line. And then you just take a little piece of sandpaper, double it over, put it in the slot, right? And just fold it back both ways like that. And then you can go in there and you can turn it. And the key is, when we're on these lathes, right, what we're trying to do is do everything that we can to enhance our accuracy. Right? What I've done here is taken a 2x4. I'll start out with the simple spindle stuff. Right? I've taken a 2x4, which I teach on, and we'll take a roughing gouge. We'll get it from square to round. So we'll lock that down. All I'm doing is putting the tool in here, and we're going to rotate the tool around and make a flat surface on the top. This is all we're going to do. And then we look at it, and I don't know if the light can see, there's 2 shades of shine there, so that means that it's not even. So we get it so that it's completely warm grind all the way to the tip. See that? Can the light see that? I don't know, there's a little, remember, you just want your color consistent all the way. All right, that'll be good. Now, one of the things that I'm in the habit of doing, instead of having my roughing gouge up at a 60 or 70 degree angle, right, I like to have it laid way back at about a 30. Reason, because not only is this a roughing gouge, it's one of the finest finishing tools that you have in your toolbox. How many people use their roughing gouge for finish cuts? There you go. Okay. I'm right-handed, so I always have my hand off the end of the tool, right? I make a body triangle, boom, right? Now, I'm not moving my hands away from my body. My body moves. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to touch the back of the bevel, bring the handle up, see where it starts to cut, right? And I just move my body. My hands maintain the triangle. That's all I'm doing. That's a planing cut. And you can do the same thing, right? With a B-band. It's a planing cut. See, we're going to go in and arc in toward the center. It's a planing cut. We can do the same thing with a skew. The skew, it's a planing cut. See that? Same thing. Right. Now, if we look at the result, right? If we look at the result here, can you get a close-up and see how chewed up that 2x4 is? Why did the 2x4 get chewed up on a planing cut? That violates the first rule of wood turning in my shop. Wood cannot come into a wood turning tool for me in my shop because it's always a scrape. So we want to try to avoid that with all of our tools other than a parting tool. It's always going to be a scrape. Okay, so now if I reorient this tool this way, so now it's in line, the blade is in line. See, the front edge of that blade is in line with the rotation? Can you see that? Now watch what happens. Again, we hold our tools off the end because turning tools get pushed down the shaft. They ricochet off the bevel supports the cut, and the tool does the work. In my shop, there's none of this. As soon as your hands are separated from the body, it's over. You see people doing this. Well, this is a farmer's plow. You don't put the plow sideways into the dirt, you wear the horse out. You always put the point of the plow in, and the curl of the tool or the curl of the plow does the work. And this is my horse. So all I am is a holder and a guider of the tool. We lay it on the bevel. We bring the handle forward. Did you see the cut line up here? Watch it again. It's on the bevel. Boom, you see that cut line up here? And then I just hold the tool. And I lean my body slowly forward. And the tool does the work. No sanding required. Okay. All tools, bowl gouges, spindle gouges, roughing gouges, whatever, all work the same way. They're like the rudder on a sailboat or the handle on a little red wagon. The left to right motion on the handle steers the tool. So, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay it on the bevel, make the cut line. As I'm going forward, all I have to do is do what? Move my hip to the right, and move my hip to the left, and it makes those, it goes in or out. I can turn it. Yeah, and I'll do it again. As I'm going forward, my hip's going around to the right, I make a bead, go up this way, I make a cove. Left to right, all tools is your direction. Any question on the roughing gouge? And if anybody wants to come up out of the audience and check out this cut, they are welcome.
What speed are you turning this in?
About 2,000. This is an inch and a half, so I turn about 2,000 at that, inch and a half.
What's your relationship of the tool rest to the center of where you're, is it lower than normal or?
No, right? I make it to my comfort zone. See, it makes no difference if the tool rest is way up here or way down here.
As long as you get that relationship?
No, there's one thing that you can't do. Let's say it's way up here. I can still do all the same work, right? The only thing I can't do is take the tool below the center of rotation. So you adjust the height of this tool rest to the width of your tool and your own comfort zone. There's no rule other than you cannot take this tool below the center of rotation. So now I have to be way up here, see? And I can do the same thing. I just can't take that tool down below that center of rotation. Another thing you need to know is when you adjust the height of your lathe, the center of rotation needs to be at the center of your elbow. If you're up here, if you're down here, you're going to be bending your back and it's going to kill you. Okay, any further questions on the roughing gouge?